But it's lovely to speak with you. I'm a huge fan of The Boys, and it's very exciting for me because you're actually my favorite boy. Well, after Karen. But
Oh, you almost. I almost had it.
I know. I'm sorry, but could
No,
you argue?
no. After Karen is good enough to me. I bow to Kimiko. So, yes,
So are you just curious, are you calling in from the West Coast?
I am in Tel Aviv
Oh, in
at
Tel
the
Aviv.
moment.
Oh,
Yes,
cool.
so I am. It's 6:30 p.m. right now.
Oh, nice.
Um, and this is cool. I'm so happy to talk to you because today, after this, I'm running to do ADR for season four.
It's exciting,
So
which we're not
yeah,
allowed
so
to
I need
talk
that.
about.
No, we don't need to talk about it. But what I thought is maybe I should put on my French accent just for me to warm up before I go and record all my lines. I haven't done
Oh,
it for quite some time, so that's gonna be interesting.
wow. Yeah, I was one of my questions actually was, do you speak French? And also, how did you develop your accent?
Well, un peu, which means a little bit,
Ah, moi
but
aussi.
ne te fous pas de moi, which means don't embarrass me. Um, Obviously, no. I did not speak French before I got the role, but as soon as I landed Frenchie, obviously one of the first thing was to find a teacher. I started with a course, and I'm still learning. And my teacher is going to be today on the recording sessions, so it's an ongoing battle between me and my verb of it's a different part of the mouth,
Right.
so it's an ongoing battle. But I was happy enough to be promoting season 3 of The Boys in Paris, a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. No, a year and a half ago, and it was crazy to see people like actual French people from Paris approaching me, starting speaking French to me, like, and I just kind of went like the most stupid. Oh, oui, merci. I was so confused I couldn't even say a word, but it was cool to see that it works. It
Yeah,
works.
you convinced the Parisians, so that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So speaking of the show and Frenchie, how was the show and the character pitched to you?
It wasn't pitched to me, I wasn't well known in the States. Till The Boys, I was working mainly in my home country, in Israel. My project did made it to the streamers, so my face was kind of known, but not in a way that I've got pitched with the role of Frenchie. I had to hustle for it. And send a couple of audition tapes, which were crazy ones, but I'm not going to get into it because it's a long story and I talked about it a lot. But it ends
Yes.
with special forces almost killing me while doing the audition because it
Oh
was
God,
so
I did read
loud and
about
all
that.
over the place. Oh yeah, so cool. Yeah. But no, it wasn't pitched to me, and I was very scared in terms of googling it. I didn't know the comic book beforehand, and I saw I think one or two drawing of the character, and I said, "Me, Frenchie, me. What the hell are they looking for, and why aren't they looking for a French dude?" But then, funny enough, I logged in. There's a way to buy and read all the volumes of the comic book online, and it was crazy to me that French is the only one that it in each and different volume looks completely different. They draw him completely different, and I said, "Oh, that's the key. He's all over the place." So I have enough space in the edition to make it my own, basically, and I think that made something original, hopefully, that they saw, and that's what booked me the job, I guess.
I think so. And speaking of that, what kinds of quirks of the character did you end up drawing from the comics, and what kinds of things did you add in yourself?
So funny enough, I tried so many things from from the drawings, from the comic book. I mean, physically, in the physical aspect of it, in the way Frenchie gets upset, the way he fights. Actually fell on my face the first time I tried to do. There's like a volume of a very famous drawing of Frenchie going like a cat, like jumping like a cat to attack some evil superheroes, and I tried to imitate it in the first season. It didn't end up well. I ended up on the floor. It didn't look amazing. So it's always the combination of trying to make it. And again, this is us being led by one of the most amazing showrunners in the industry right now, Eric Kripke, who always reminds us keep it grounded, keep it
Mm.
grounded. The Boys is a grounded TV show. It comes from a the comic book is crazy. The show is nuts, but our job is in this world to keep it as grounded and believable and emotional and interesting and mysterious as possible. And I needed that. Saying that, obviously, the humor you can get it, you can understand it easily from the comic book. Frenchie's humor is all over the place, and he is the relief inside this chaotic, violent, crazy reality of the world of the boys. So I knew right away Frenchie has some weird faces, and I better pull them off. And that hopefully, I mean, I'm happy that got in, and that's a very huge part of the character.
Yeah, I mean,
You know,
definitely some comic relief, but it's Frenchie and Kimiko have been rightfully considered the heart of the show. And so I was kind of wondering, like in this latest season that we got to see, season 3, you had this dance scene, and I was wondering if you'd ever done anything like that before. And it kind of looks like the most fun, honestly, that Frenchie has throughout the show. So how was it fun on set as well?
listen, I remember me and Karen standing in the middle of the set, and you have to understand when you wake up in the morning for another long day, a very long, grueling day, in shooting this, upscale, crazy, big TV show. You I mean, chances are you're going to be covered with blood, feces, genitalias. Something very dirty is going to happen, and the characters are dirty. Like the boys, are like grungy and dirty, and they're rough. And in this particular couple of days when we shot the dancing scene, I remember me and Karen looking at each other, clean as a whistle, just looking behind us, seeing like the show is so dark, and seeing those 30 colorful dancers stretching behind us, doing dance movements. Everyone was cheery, and we looked at each other and we said, "This is a different TV show. This is not The Boys. What are we experiencing right now?" We were so uplifted, and it was fun. It was fun. Rehearsals for it was I'll tell you that more than the action sequences. Funny enough, dancing choreography is. I mean, I think Karen will vote for that as well. It's harder than the fighting aspect, but it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Yeah, I love that scene so much. And I did have that moment of just like, I don't know what's happening. But I think it's working. It did work. I loved it. Now
Thanks.
I started watching The Boys in like 2020, like right after we'd all been locked up in our homes for the pandemic, and
Oh,
everything is like there's a lot of like absolutely insane politics flying around. Don't think I need to explain, but it was like watching it was like haunting because there was this crazy reflection of real life. And
mhm.
so that makes me curious about how you felt watching the finished product for the first time, and how that compared to the experience of filming it.
Mm. That's a very, very good question. For the second part of, I don't know, question or remark or what you said, I agree. You know what? this show is, in the end of the day, I think people connect to it more than anything because of it touches the soft belly of whatever the world is dealing with at the moment. And it's crazy. It's one of those shows that you kind of read it and you go, that's insane. But then something happens in the world and you said, who is writing the show? Is this a fortune teller? Like how? Um, no spoilers, right? But it's for me as an artist and an actor, it's always a plus to be in something that says something inside a world. There's so much noise in the world these days. Everybody's trying to surprise and be different and do something spectacular just to get the attention, using every means necessary. But if you think about The Boys, this is a comic book that was written a lot
A
of
while
years
ago, yeah.
ago, and the opportunity of doing it in a time where, I don't know about you, but it was just the comic book genre was one after another. The movies were like this, kind of more of the merit, more of the same. And here we are giving this genre a flip, and inside of it shaking everything that is wrong with what's happening in the world today, and kind of give it from a different point of view, with action, with a lot of laughs, with a lot of drama, with a lot of whatever. But there is a core to it that is intelligent, and I am grateful to be working under the hands of the writers, the producers, everybody who's taking part in this show are just amazing. Really, it's one of those gigs when you go like, wow, I wonder if I ever would ever get to work with so many talented people in the same room. So you always feel humble and you always feel like you just want to play the best you can for this team. So that's for the second part of your remark or question. And to be honest, when I read it, yeah, I actually it had a good feeling. Something felt right. Something felt real, and yeah, I think I
Glad
kind
to
of
hear that.
took it and expanded the answer. Yeah.
Well, it's so thinking about Frenchie then, I mean, I've done a bit of research, right? But I'm curious from your perspective, what parts of your personality do you think are similar to his, and maybe more importantly, what is different?
I'll tell you a little story, and you do whatever you think, or you take it wherever you think with. So, a second season, I went into the trailer. I had the coolest. I always have the coolest wardrobe, which I pitch to our amazing crew of wardrobe before we start the new season. I will throw them a lot of pictures and a lot of ideas and a lot of stuff, and they will get me a mishmash of whatever it is. And in the trailer waited a beautiful cat, like a cat t-shirt. It's people love that shirt. Actually, I saw it going around here and
I
there.
do
And
remember
there was
that one, yeah.
yeah, and there was another one of a bunny, like a crazy skeleton with a bunny, and they were hanged on the in the trailer. And I wore them, and I looked in the mirror, and the Frenchie energy took over me, and I just took a pair of scissors and I cut it to a crop top, and I stand in front of the mirror and I said, oh, "We love this." Went into set. I remember Eric Kripke coming to me and he says, like, "That's a crop top." I can see your belly button. And I said, "Frenchie loves it." So that's the kind of kid. And I don't even know where I got the confidence to come with a crop top on set, just presented my belly button to the to 40 people and say, "This is Frenchie."
So Frenchie loves it.
That's
Tomer is okay with it.
It's just, yeah, it's something we click. We understand. He talks to me, and I cut the crop top. And I think that's one of the things that make the show what it is, the generosity of even in a big scale TV show like this, to give, and we're a big cast, like we're like a big cast of talented actors, to give each and every one the space to create and to give their talent to whatever we're doing there. It's a big thing, and I think that's a big part of what's making the boys the boys.
So a couple of what I like to think are fun questions. Who do you think
Let's do it.
is who do you think is the strongest boy? Not necessarily physical strength, right? And of course, this includes everyone on the team.
A Frenchie, of course. What do you mean?
Well, I'm just curious. What makes you say that?
um, I don't know. I don't know. I think again, it's hard now. Now that you're trying to take the question and really like get an answer, I know I kind of see Frenchie and Kimiko as a tag team actually. So that
Mm.
tag team is one unit. So Pinky and the Brain don't have to.
Well, they're inseparable. You know, you couldn't.
Yeah.
I hope they remain inseparable over this season, but
Then
I won't even go there. Uh, and and again, no spoilers, of course. But if you personally, if Tomer could have a superpower, what would it be?
oh wow. Hmm. So a superpower of a superhero or like a specific power? Let's go for power, right?
Any power, yeah.
Listen, first thing that comes to mind is something that think I think I said it before, but it sounds scary as well, to heal people,
Ooh,
like the ability
okay.
to heal people. But that could be too much, probably. But that's the right answer. And the selfish answer would be to either fly or teleport myself because I hate flying.
Yeah, no, I get that. Teleportation would be so convenient. Of course, everybody wants to
Exactly.
fly. That's a good
Yeah.
answer. I never thought about the healing one like that, and I'm just like, oh, I feel a bit. Never thought of that. But you're right. It's the right answer.
That would be the most humane answer to give. But can you imagine Homelander? It's like getting those powers. It's who knows?
Ooh,
I don't
he
know.
would not use them.
Exactly.
Um, so now that things have happened with the boys, you've kind of been launched into this superstardom, which is amazing. And but now thinking about the future, what's a kind of role that you've never played, but you'd be interested
Mhm.
in trying?
So, wow, that's a great question, but one that I really don't know how to answer. I guess in the end of the day, what I want to do is work for the best scripts, the best stories. For me, it's always been the written word. It's always what comes up from the pages, and if I do justice with it, what can I add to it? Just working with the best teams, the best groups. Doesn't have to be anyone famous or big, but something that touches me and makes me get up because I'm a pretty lazy dude. So get my ass off the chair and want to do it. That's the next thing I want to do.
Nice, amazing. So I think I'm just about out of time, so I'll leave you with the last do you think that Frenchie is still disappointed that he didn't get to go to Herogasm
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
forever?
Listen, I'm signing people. I'm gonna send you a form later on. I'm signing people, fans. We need another hero gasm. It's just for Frenchie.
Just for Frenchie. I love that.
I'm making it that happen. Yeah.
Anyway, this was really lovely getting to speak to my almost favorite to my favorite boy of the
Um,
boys.
all right. I love it. I love it. I'll take it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.